Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and today I'm going to do another 40k Tactica video. This time I'm going to discuss the utility of troop choices, how I utilise them on the gaming table, and I just think why they shouldn't be overlooked. So the first thing to note about troop choices is if they're taken in a combined arms or allied detachment, they have the objective secured special rule. Now, this is obviously pretty handy if you're playing any kind of missions with objectives, because they become more what I suppose an old securing unit. So if a unit that doesn't have that rule is on there, then they technically have it, and that can be pretty handy. And then they can test with troops. So I think that can be overlooked slightly. The other good thing about that would be the ability to say, you can't have this. So it's not just a case of you, as the player, taking all the objectives with your troop choices. It's also a case of denying your opponent these objectives. Because what you can do is, if you have the mobility in your list, you can contest 5 out of 6 objectives at the end of the game and just hold one. So I think troops are often overlooked and min-maxed, so you just take 2 units of 5 or whatever you have in your codex, and then, oh look at all these points I have on these shiny, Death Stars or whatever. But I think troops provide more utility than first meets the eye. So anyone who's been watching my channel for a little while now will know that I like infantry models. I like the whole, you get these 10 guys in power armor all stood next to each other, and it takes up this really cool space on the gaming table. So I tend to be slightly more infantry and troop based. That's just the way I like to write my lists. It's the models I like to have as well. So that kind of fits in quite nicely. So basically how I utilise my troops, with my Space Marines and my Dark Angels, I was combat squad down so that they are 2 5-man units. Because multiple small units, which I've obviously already covered in detail in a previous video. So I would tend to do that. And then I will give a special weapon and an upgrade on the sergeant to even them out. What you want to do with your troop choices is you want them all to be the same. The big thing this provides is a lack of target priority from your opponent. So if you take 4 tactical marine squads with no upgrades and 4 rhinos with no upgrades, which one do you pick to shoot at? Because they're all the same. They have the same threat level. But they all provide this great utility of A, bolter fire, strength 4, AP 5, which is not bad. And they also have the mobility of the rhino. They have the numbers of the tactical marines. Like, that's really, really good. That is often overlooked, just simple tactical marines with bolt guns. So I think it's very easy to get sucked into wanting to play all these big Death Star units and thinking they'll win you a match. Now, yeah, okay, they might. But I think it's important to look at the troop choices from an objective-based game. If you know that your codex doesn't have the big Death Stars, that can take out army after army, or you don't want to play that way, there's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. So I tend to play for objectives. I mean, I'll happily forgo shooting with a tactical squad, and if I have to run them onto an objective, or each 5-man squad is fairly disposable in their own right, but there are so many of them. That's really where you get this the big play on multiple small units coming in with the troop choices. So not only do they give you this objective secured, they give you weight of dice, and weight of dice is a key mechanic in any war game. If you roll 2 dice, you have the potential of hitting 2 6s. If you only roll 1, you've only got the potential of rolling 1 6. So it's that principle of the more dice you put on the table, the greater the opportunity is to succeed, and the less likely the opportunity is that you'll fail. So you're really pushing this with troop choices because they tend to be cheaper than elites. They tend to be able to put out plenty of firepower. And, for this, you're getting, 10 tactical marines in rapid fire range. That's like 19 bolter shots, because I'm saying bolt pistol. So 19 bolter shots. But that's only for 140 points, which is really good if you think about it. If you compare that to something like Stern Guard, a 10-man Stern Guard squad with upgrades tends to cost around 350 points. So that's like 4 combi weapons and a drop pod. So 350 points for something that puts out the same kind of firepower same volume of dice as 140. I mean, you can take 3 tactical squads in some cases, 2 strong tactical squads with rhinos or razorbacks, in fact, and then you have even more dice. So I think it can often be overlooked. I think there's a lot more tactical utility to a troop choice, and I don't think that people should be just saying take the minimum amount because this is the best way to build a list. I argue that you can build a list however you want. If you don't want to build that list with no troops and all Death Stars, or those kind of things, and you want to have troop choices, I would recommend it. I'd say go for it because you get this tactical utility, you get this on the board physical presence of models, you get table control, weight of dice, objective secured. And I think those 3 things in a game which can only last 5 to 7 turns is quite big. You know, they can only remove, if they have 1 unit and you have 5, they can only remove 1 unit a turn. They have to take the whole game to kill a unit, and they have to do it 1 a turn, or you're going to control the board. So you take small units of troops, and you utilize that, the fact that they can only kill so much per game. So yeah, obviously I've touched a bit on multiple small units, which I have covered in a previous tactical video. So if you're not fully confident on what they are, go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below for that, in fact. But the main point of this video was really to get across the fact that troops are not a tax. Troops can be incredibly useful in your list if you build your list to make them so. It's not all about taking one super killy unit, like a 10-man Thunderwolf cavalry unit or something. It's about looking at your list, saying, okay, how am I going to play? How do the opponents around me play, your meta, your local gaming meta, and say, okay, well, maybe I do want the troops. Maybe I know it's not popular, but maybe I want the 4 tactical squads in my 1,500 point list. And you should go for it. You should go for it. Go with what you want to do. And that's the point of these videos. I'm going to try and cover a variety of different tactical things you can do. So that if you're unsure of how you want to play the game, and you don't think you can make it work, I'm going to try and find a way to make those things work. So yeah, pretty much it really. I think that you should really consider your troop choices as a tactical asset instead of a tax. And that's the crux of this video really. So I will say thank you very much for all the people who have subscribed to my channel so far, and if you haven't already, please do so. And give us a like, because they're always helpful. It's the subscribers that make me really want to keep making video content. And if you could leave a comment below on what you think of the idea of using troops more, how you play the game is always interesting to know as well. So drop a comment on your thoughts on my ideas for troops and how you would play your lists, or how you do play your lists. And we can bounce ideas off each other. It's just a way for us both to learn a bit more and enjoy our hobby a little more. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It's been me, Karen, from Tabletop Banter, and don't forget, have fun.